And back on Talk of the Town, as I'm joined right now by Erin Thornley Parisi. She's the Executive Director of the Rape Crisis Center in Dane County. And Erin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. And we're going to talk about sexual assault, and I want to define that, if we could a little bit. What exactly, when we're talking about sexual assault, are we talking about?
We're talking about any unwanted physical contact that is in a sexual nature. So it is a broad definition because there are degrees of sexual assault. Rape is not different than sexual assault. It's usually what people think of as first or second degree sexual assault.
Okay, so sexual assault versus sexual harassment, which might be continually asking a woman out or talking about her body parts.
That can be a form of sexual assault. But
okay, that can too.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure. People sometimes too will mix up sexual assault and domestic violence. So what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, the difference is that sexual assault is much broader. It's something that affects more people because in a domestic violence relationship there is at one time an intentional relationship usually, and that has definitely gone very wrong, and there is an abusive person there. But sexual assault is something that can affect somebody just walking down the street or just going to work. And more men are sexually assaulted than I think are battered.
Okay.
So it encompasses a broader population of people as well.
Okay. I guess, one of the things that's always, to me, it's always important to try and vet stuff out and talk about it and get it out in the open. Why is it important to talk about sexual assault and how that's going on in Dane County?
Yeah, thanks for asking, because it's an epidemic, and it's one that's been referred to by the medical community as the silent violent epidemic, because we are so careful to not talk about sexual assault, and when we do, we tend to victimize the person who has already been a victim, and we like to kind of pretend that it doesn't exist by degrading that person and saying, what you're talking about really didn't happen. And it does happen. It happens to 1 out of 4 girls and 1 out of 6 boys before they reach the age of 18.
Wow.
And then as people get older, there's a reduction for men, but for women, it's still it's our daily lives to protect ourselves from sexual assault.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen so much where the victim is actually then re-victimized by, if it ends up in the public and people will accuse. Why is that? What's the mentality that makes that happen?
Yeah, I think it's people wanting to feel safer, and you don't feel safe if you really think about the high prevalence of sexual assault. It creates a kind of unsteady atmosphere, and we never know who that person is because we can't identify a perpetrator of sexual assault. They don't look a certain way, they don't act a certain way. And so I think by blaming the victim, it's just a way of people kind of deflecting that fear of the high prevalence of sexual assault. That's one explanation I can think of, but okay. I would like it to go away because it's awful for victims to go through.
Absolutely. Now, you're the Executive Director of the Rape Crisis Center. What do you do at the Rape Crisis Center?
We work with the victim from the time that she or he is sexually assaulted as long as they want us. So when, if somebody goes to the hospital for a rape exam and a wellness exam, we are there. We're there right away. We get there within about 10 minutes, absolutely within 30 minutes, and we will walk that person through that process so that the forensic nurse can focus on her job. We also will help people report to police. That can be done at our office or it can be done at another location. We provide counseling. We have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline, always available with a counselor on the other end, a highly trained counselor on the other end. And then we do prevention education as well, individual counseling and group counseling.
Okay, and you have a fundraiser coming up, the Java Jive, September 18th. What is that?
It's a great fundraiser. It's been called Madison's most relaxed fundraiser, which maybe some people don't care about, but there aren't very many fundraisers where you can go and wear a pair of jeans, grab a newspaper, go off into a corner and eat a huge breakfast and drink from about 12 different kinds of coffee. They are available, all for just a great cause. So it's a really fun event. It's at the Brink on September 18th in the morning. I think starts at about 9 o'clock, and it's a lot of fun.
They do so many great fundraisers out there. So
They do.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
stuff. I think I can go just for the coffee and drink a cup of each one. I think
Yeah, we do.
like to try,
That's the whole
so,
thing, is a coffee tasting fundraiser.
Absolutely. Erin, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
if you'd like to find out more, go ahead, check out that bottom third. We'll be right back. Talk of the Town right here on Channel 57.